Hey everyone, good morning for another episode of the Ready Set Grow Show with Deb and Hillary. And we are so excited to bring you today's topic. So, we're talking digital marketing, online marketing for your business. And today, SEO versus social, or better known as search versus social marketing. And it's
Mhm.
a topic that we're always talking about, like, is search better than social? Because everybody says you got to be on Facebook, right? Well, not really. Not really, even though we're here. All right.
That's right. That's right. There are those few exceptions.
Yes. And what we're going to be talking about today is how search works and how social works. And then basically at the bottom, how they complement each other. But they're two totally different forms of marketing. And some have benefits and others, some have even greater benefits. But when we're talking about business, all right, you're driving people to your your website, hopefully, if you've got one out there, because I hope Facebook is your website. I hope Facebook
Yeah.
isn't everything that you're doing, because guess what, one day Facebook will disappear the same way MySpace disappeared, the same way ICQ disappeared, the same way all of these other things that some of you may be like, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah. And I always heard about, and I have a website, but it's like I didn't really understand it until my business really started to pick up, and it's like, oh my goodness, yes, I am so glad that I have my own piece of property that no one can take away from me.
Yes. And I like to say that, as Deb just said, your own piece of property. Search marketing and social marketing is very much like the concept of owning your home versus renting a home. All
Hmm.
right. And there are benefits. Like, I remember, having this and side conversation here. But I I had a young person speaking to me about the benefits of renting over owning a home. And they were very logical, because they were like, when the toilet goes bazook, that's not them. They just call up the landlord.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So when we talk about search and social marketing, we're gonna hear some benefits. We're gonna hear some things that may seem like, okay, it's instant gratification almost in your business, but then you're in a business for the long haul. All right. So that's when you want to build the asset, as Deb was talking about. Her asset is her website, and start to actually develop content. All right. So, one of the things that always pops out in my mind, and Deb has realized this, especially after the last blogging challenge that we both went through, she got 31 blogs done, I got five. Anyway.
I attribute that to I was going through 75 hard, which is a mental toughness activity thing, and I attribute that to because I was determined to finish that 75 days of doing the activities.
Mhm.
And when the blogging, it was the second time that the ultimate blogging challenge came into my life. And the first time, again, it was kind of like I understood it, but yet I didn't. And what I didn't understand was writing a blog every day, and you've got to be set. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. Well, the second time it came through in May, I was doing the 75 hard, knowing I had to do those activities. And I said, yes, I'm going to do this blogging challenge and I'm going to finish it. 31 blogs later, I did finish it. And actually, um, 31 days of blogging and 75 days of the other activity ended on the same day.
Yay.
And so, yeah, I was so naive. I'd like to think I'm getting over that and understanding more. And thanks to Hillary, she is, and you
Mhm.
watching this
Yeah.
is helping me grow also. So,
Definitely.
you
Yes.
know,
So, one of the things that Deb asked me with these 31 blog posts is, okay, so what do I do with them? And the interesting thing is that it is a perfect example of search marketing versus social marketing. And here's where I don't like to put that versus, because it's where one complements the other.
Yeah.
We all know that all the eyeballs are on social media. Well, not all, but very many eyeballs are on social media. They're on YouTube, they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Instagram. And people are there. That's where the people are. And we call that traffic. We call that the attention grabbing. And that's the social. So you do all sorts of things on social to grab people's attention. Say, hey, I exist. Hey, come follow me. Hey, do you like my stuff? But then you send them to your base, your home. You send them to your blog post that you've spent 31 days writing. You say, come on over to my website and read
Yeah.
my blog. Then there's the other group of people who are like, how do I lose weight today? How do I lose weight in 31 days? And you have a blog post on that. And when they type that into Google, or they type it onto Pinterest, or even if they type it onto YouTube, or a site that I love, Quora, all right, that's search marketing. All right. When somebody is actively looking for a solution, they're
Mhm.
searching. And are you there for them to be found? That's the search marketing that we're talking about. So it's not the look at me, look what I had for breakfast this morning. Look at me, look what I'm having for lunch this morning. Look at, like these type of posts that just drive me insane. Um,
And I have to tell you that when I was looking for something, now this has been several years back, I would say something to my children thinking they might know the answer. Well, guess what their answer was to me? Google it. And I'm like, okay, so that's what I started doing because they had told me that enough. It's like, I'm tired of hearing that, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it because they're going to tell me to do that anyway. That's when I started to understand, um, in a sense, because I wasn't Googling anything for my business at the time. It was something out here that I needed to know some information or I wanted to
Information.
know some information. But as I grew, particularly with my blogs and everything, I started to, it's like the little gear that drops in or the piece of the puzzle that fits. It's a timing thing.
Definitely, definitely. And you see, one of the things that is so powerful about it is that you you actually start you actually know the behavior of your potential prospect, of your potential client, right? And one of the things that makes social and search different is that when somebody is on social, they're not in a buying mode. But if you think about it, like, let's just pull it out of digital. When you're driving down the road and you're looking for something, right? You don't know where it is and you're driving and you're looking for a place that sells pots and pans, for example. I don't know, crazy example. But usually you will see a store and maybe they'll have a sign, or maybe they'll have a few of their items outside, or whatever the case may be, and you're driving and you're actively looking. You're actively looking because you are ready to buy. And
Right.
that is search marketing. And that's why you need to be in a position to put your products and services out there for those people who are actively searching. Because the active searcher is an active buyer. All
Yeah.
right.
And don't mistake as you are scrolling on Facebook, all of a sudden there's an ad that, oh, this looks interesting. And you go in and you start, that's not searching. They put that there and it attracted you. You were not searching for that. So big difference.
Big difference, right? And that is the difference with the whole social, and then we could even go social advertising, search advertising, because the essence of the difference between search and social is that one person is actively out there seeking that information.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know the difference, right? Between, like, whoever's going to search this on YouTube eventually, they're going to know the difference between search and social. They want to know the difference. But on Facebook, this is just, oh, that's interesting information. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very good. And then it's shareable. All right. Now, the thing about social is that you get the immediate reaction. All
Yeah.
right. You get the immediate reaction. Somebody says, hey, this is interesting. And they share it with their friend. They share it with their colleagues. They share it with their family. Hey, you should take a look at this. So that what that does, social gives you the traffic and the eyeballs so that eventually, if somebody becomes really interested in knowing that, it's been spread around social enough. All right. The catch with that is that you have to keep on spreading it around in social because it doesn't last forever. All
Right.
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 On your
And
website,
oh, go ahead.
those 31 blogs that you wrote in May, they're going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As long
Mm-hmm.
as the internet holds up. Okay. The internet has to hold up. But other than that, it's going to be there forever. So yeah, Deb.
I forgot what I was going to
Oh
say because
God.
I was listening to you. It'll come back to me. It'll come
Yes.
back to
All
me.
right. Yeah. But and that is the thing. So when you think of and the advantage with social versus search, you want to be able to share information. All right. You can't do too much of that on social because you got to get enough information in for a scroll, right?
Yeah.
And fewer and fewer people are actually on social media on their desktop. It's all on their mobile.
Yeah.
So the amount of information you could put on a screen is really small compared to what you could put in an article. And you have the ability to write and share more information in an article that somebody will want that information. They want to understand the information. So they're going to extract and read and sit down and go through what you've written.
Yeah.
On social, the information you got to fit is literally the length of the screen.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. We use social to, in a sense, pique their interest. And like Hillary says, it's mostly on a phone that they're looking. So you've got to pique their interest in those first few sentences and lead them to your blog. And that's how you get them from social to the traffic to your blog.
Exactly.
And I did not understand that for the longest time. So, it's a learning process. Life is a learning process, and I am so glad that I have wonderful mentors, and I consider Hillary a mentor and a friend. And so, as we talk and everything, so if we're saying something that is new to you, it's okay. And that's why I am telling you, I didn't know it all. My business has only been on for 4 years. And literally, I had to learn technology 4 years
Yes, you
ago
did.
because I came out of the medical society that the nurses at that time didn't use computers. And so it was a real learning process, but I got to tell
And
you,
and Deb, you have grown and blossomed so much to the point where you're teaching others this, and that is what is, I mean, amazing. That the technology is, because what I appreciate, right, is that you have a knowledge base of the fundamentals. Okay. And when we think about what is fundamental, then the hurdle of getting over the technology, and that's what I love, right? Because when I first got started, there were a lot of people who were just technology scared. That wasn't my challenge. My challenge was the technology. My challenge was the fundamentals. So I was there helping people with the technology while they were teaching me the fundamentals, right? So it's amazing how we connect with different people who help us improve our weaknesses and amplify our strengths. All right.
oh, excellent, excellent analogy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. So the thing is, we are so search and social. We also talked about, and I remember in our discussion, Deb, you were talking about the concept of sharing. All right, and I think we touched on that in terms of when you write a blog post, you've got to get it out there. Now, getting it out there doesn't necessarily mean only Facebook, Twitter, in LinkedIn. All right, but there are platforms that are literally designed for search. So if you were to Google something, you would find that response come up, right? You would find that response come up. So like if you were to Google, when I say response, I mean the platform. Sorry, getting distracted by the little one out there. Anyway, but you will find that there are certain websites that pop up. If you were to Google anything right now, for example, you would be able to probably find a YouTube video. You would find a lot of blog posts, a lot of articles. You definitely find some ads, but you're not going to find a link to a Facebook post.
Right.
You're not going to find a link to a Twitter post. You're not going to find a link to an Instagram post. So in that, we call those the closed and open platforms. You may find some Pinterest posts. You may definitely, you're going to find YouTube, and you may find a few LinkedIn's. Of late, I've been seeing that you're not seeing a lot of the LinkedIn. So it means LinkedIn is becoming a little more closed, just like Facebook. You search anything, you're not going to find, if you search on Google, you're not going to find a Facebook post. We used to be able to find a LinkedIn.
Uh-oh.
All right. When I talk about searching, oh, is my internet
You
still there?
you just froze for a second or so.
Okay, all right. So when we're searching, when people are in search mentality and they're looking to buy something, how do I fix my roof, for example? It doesn't matter if you have fixing your roof videos, 500 of those on Facebook. If they're not on YouTube,
Yeah.
the open platform, nobody's going to find you. Okay? So you've got to know where to put the type of content. If it's content that people are going to be searching for, I want to know the answer to that. You've got to put it where people can find it. Your
Right.
website, YouTube, Pinterest, open platforms like Quora, so that you can be found. All right. And when you want to get people to your website, you go on these closed platforms, these social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, so that you could connect with them as people, who they are, what they're doing, and all that fun stuff, and then send them back to your website.
Yeah, and it all boils down to if you want a business, particularly a digital business, online business, you have got to get known. And if you are just being social and people really don't understand that you are a business person, I mean, you can be social and fun and everything, but you've got to let people know. You've got to get yourself out there. And the social part is one way. But Google is another way as far as people finding my blogs.
Exactly. Now, one of the things that we want to share with you is Deb is currently going through a program, all right, that has been revamped. I call it 2.0. Maybe it should be 5.0. But anyway, all right, because it's the very program that I went through when I first started to make sure that I've got my search marketing established and going. And we want to share that with you because Deb is going to put it in her post after this. If you're interested in just going through the course, maybe not the everything, but we want to share that with you, because if you at a stage where you're ready to establish your
Mm-hmm.
own presence on digital marketing, this is going to be a foundational piece of education that you can learn from. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
definitely we're going to be sharing that with you. It will either be in the comments below or in the updated description, whatever the case may be. All right, but we'll definitely be want to share that with you, so look out for that. Okay. And
Yes.
I think the Deb, do you have any other questions? Like, what were we talking in terms of? search and social? What else?
That pretty much covers it as
Mhm.
far as I'm just kind of looking at my notes here. Yeah, we're good at what we do, but we do have notes too.
Yes.
But it
Keep a
is, it's
track.
all boils down to finding your content, helping people find your content. And I have to tell you, this program that I'm going through, as I'm going through it, it is honestly the first time that, and I'm going to say it, but it's not exactly what I want to, how I want to say it. As I'm following the steps, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, check, check, check. It's the first time I've been learning something that I have been equal to or even a little above. Oh yeah, I totally understand that. Before 4 years ago, I was constantly behind the eight ball. And so it was very refreshing for me. But, everything comes when it's supposed to come
Supposed
to
to come.
us, the
Exactly.
timing. And so, yes, if you are ready for what Hillary and I are talking about, then yes, we will make sure that you get the link and check it out. And I'm telling you, it will be well worth it, because when I was told, write a blog, I don't know how to do that. Well,
Oh,
finally I mustered up and I did it, and it sat there on my website. And that's what Hillary was talking about. So, I've been trying to get myself out there. People got to know me. In order to know me, then they can like me, then they can trust me, blah, 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 blah. And so, anyway, we just want to help you um, collapse some of your time, because of, like Hillary said, she had to learn the fundamentals. I went through the struggles. The struggles are very fresh in my
mhm.
mind. I don't want somebody to struggle the way I did if I can help them, if they will allow me to help them. So that's what Hillary and I are about. Every single week, we want to bring something to you that is going to help you
Okay.
get your business going.
Yep. All right. So speaking of that, we will see you next week. All right.
Yes.
Have a great day and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.